And welcome back to the next episode of Talksmack with Mac. I got another Cage Wars fighter that's going to share a little bit of his time, let us know how he got started fighting, his journey to the next fight, and all of that good shit in between, man.
Let's talk smack.
Ryan, how are you doing, bro? I appreciate you jumping on Talksmack with Mac and sharing a little bit of your fighting journey with me.
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I cannot complain, man. It's a little early. Ryan, you got a fight coming up at the end of November?
Yes.
Okay, tell me a little bit how you got started with fighting. When, like, the age you got started, what type of profession? Was it like boxing? Was it jiu-jitsu? Tell me all about that.
Okay, so we grew up, we started with Japanese jiu-jitsu, my brother and I. And then we got into wrestling in high school. Then we kind of expanded from there. So we did some BJJ, got into some striking stuff. Then we just fell in love with it, and then wanted to open our own space just to get more mat time. Right? We could never get enough time on the mats, so we started renting out of originally it was out of our basement with our dad, and then we rented out of a dance studio, and then rented our own place, and then it just took off from there. In terms of actually like getting into MMA and competing, I was 23, I think, at the time. I just wanted to give it a shot, just one. Want to say I was able to do a fight and see how it went. And then I just loved it, and then wanted to keep going and see how far I could take it. So.
Yeah, it's addicting. One thing that I noticed that all these MMA fighters that are, I'm not going to say all of them, but a big majority of them have a wrestling background. It seems like if you wrestled in high school, wrestled in middle school, you kind of have those that foundation that you built at a younger age. It kind of gives an advantage when you're fighting, because everybody's just not going to be in there throwing hands, throwing knees, throwing kicks. You're going to be engaged in the clinch. You're going to be trying to take your guys down. You're constantly shooting for a single leg or a double leg or trips out of the clinch, stuff like that. So wrestling background is imperative. You said, correct me if I'm wrong, Japanese jiu-jitsu?
Originally, when we were really young, that's kind of our intro to martial arts.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
So it's kind of like it's not entirely like translatable to MMA. It's not like the most practical and useful, but it was a good foot in the door when we were kids, kind of like self-defense kind of things. But
how does it kind of differ from BJJ?
So BJJ is like a lot of like practical like submissions on the ground, right? Like a lot of groundwork, control positions. Japanese jiu-jitsu is more like you'd have certain attacks, like somebody would come and grab you a certain way, and then it would be like defending a hold, like you'd attack striking, and then you do like a judo throw, and then finish on the ground. But it was more not exactly, like I said before, not translatable to real MMA situations, but it was good to get us like into the martial arts world, and then kind of you quickly find out like what works, what doesn't work, and then just build off that. Like there are definitely good things about it. Like same thing with Taekwondo. Like a lot of it isn't exactly the most useful, but there's definitely like some good things about it. So
you could.
It's a good foundation to build off of. So.
Yeah, you could take a sprinkle a couple Japanese jiu-jitsu techniques and bring them over here and translate them with other techniques that you learned doing something else and kind of build upon it.
Right. Yeah. Or even just to get like into combat sports and martial arts, it's a good little like a gateway to get into it.
Kind of kill the nerves a little bit, stuff like that. Yeah, well, that's exciting. And you said you and your brother opened up a studio. That's badass. You started in your basement, then you moved to a dance studio. Now you're at the that you're at now, right?
Yeah, so we've been running that place since 2012. So almost 10 years now. So it's been going well.
Yeah, man. Congrats on that. I know it's kind of difficult to get some MMA gyms going, and 10 years of constant work is pretty badass. And you said the mat time that you could get for that, you have all access to the gym at any time. Pretty damn badass.
Yeah.
Oh, where's the gym located?
So I'm actually in Ottawa, Canada. So it's near Toronto, Montreal. I'm not sure if you've ever been to Ottawa, but it's
right, a little past the border, right?
West End. Pardon?
A little past the border.
Pretty close actually.
I've been noticing you Canadian guys are super nice. Every Canadian person that I've ever met in my life is one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Thank you.
All right, so tell me, you got this fight coming up in November.
Yeah.
What are some things that you're practicing, or some, I guess, areas that you're improving on or focusing on? Kind of take me through your camp or your uh, how you're getting prepared for this upcoming fight.
Sure. So I won't give too much away about like game planning and stuff like that, but the other guy's actually Canadian as well. He's from Montreal.
Both can't be nice.
Yeah. I don't know him personally, but I've met his coach a few times, and yeah, nothing but good things to say about them. Like, I know their gym is a really, really good gym with some top professionals on the highest levels. So I know he's going to be really well prepared. Excellent coaching, great training partners, that kind of thing. So we're trying to get ready for everything. It's not like they come from just like one
type of background.
One background, yeah. Like it's not like they're just good at BJJ or just good at striking. So I'm expecting a well-rounded opponent with really elite training partners and great coaching. Yeah, again, his coach Richard Ho, really nice guy. Yeah, can't say any bad things about him. Yeah.
Okay. So other than jiu-jitsu and wrestling, what type of striking do you prefer that you enjoy doing, I should say?
So we do some like kickboxing, Muay Thai stuff, a little bit of boxing, not too much karate and stuff like that, or taekwondo, but yeah, just really trying to focus on fundamentals and distance control, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. Are you a righty or a southpaw?
Mostly right.
All right. So when you're in camp, say you have a fight coming up, you have like a 6-week or 8-week camp. How much sparring are you do? I know there's back and forth on. Some people say they spar every Saturday. Some people say they don't spar whatsoever. How much sparring do you get into during your camps up until and in preparation for your fights?
So I guess it depends, like what you count as sparring, like hard sparring versus like touch sparring versus like sort of like in between, like
touch sparring doesn't count.
Grilling. So yeah, we were obviously it's always concerning with brain injuries, and it's the stuff that people don't see. It's not just like the fight night where the brain injuries happen. It's all throughout your training, your career, and everything like that. So we're really concerned about that. So we always have that in the back of the mind that, you know, 5-year fight career is great, but like if life goes on after that. So we don't do like crazy hard sparring every day. I don't think that's the best way to go. There's been some like high level UFC fighters that have, like Holloway has said, it's important to get some sparring in, but now he does a lot of drilling and a lot of like touch sparring and stuff like that. So we do a lot of like live rounds, but we're not trying to like go for KOs in the gym. We've never had knockouts in the gym or anything like that. So we take that stuff pretty seriously.
Yeah, I know sometimes people get carried away, egos get inflated and shit like that. And then the next thing you know, people are throwing fucking spinning back fists and elbows in sparring practice. And we're just like, what is going on, guys? Calm down.
Yeah.
All right. So one of my favorite questions to ask people when they get on my show is cardio. What are you doing for cardio? How do you get yourself into the tip-top shape when you're in the cage and you're performing? Your heart rate is staying, you know, at a reasonable pace. What are you doing to get there?
Well, yeah, just a lot of live rounds. Again, not like crazy hard sparring, but like high pace. Everything's controlled, but yeah, to really replicate what that feels like. I've also always loved running since I was a kid, like into track, cross country and stuff growing up. So I still run all the time. So running's a big part of my training.
Oh man, if you're a runner and a wrestler in high school, stuff like that, then I already know you're in ridiculous shape. The best shape people I've ever met in my life were wrestlers. They're just there's something different about them. They're the strongest, can do 150 push-ups, but they can also go run 5 miles with relatively ease.
Right.
So pretty good. Cross country. I'm not 100% familiar with like the structure of cross country. Was there like a certain distance that you ran, or did you run all types of different distances?
Yeah, so they depend like how old we were as kids. Like it would get longer as we went on. I think at the end of high school it was around like 7-8 kilometers, something like that. But it's nice. Yeah, we had like the course would change every year, so it'd be like hills, different regions. Usually would end on the track, like the actual like track. and there'd be like, you have to run on sand for some period of time. It was pretty fun. Yeah, just I always like being active. So yeah, also played hockey growing up because I'm Canadian, of course. So
Yeah, that's your shit.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, that's pretty dope. Cross country, I wasn't much of an athlete in high school. I played football a little bit and then I boxed, but running, like I didn't get into running until I joined the military. I think the furthest I ever ran before the military was like 2 miles. So
Okay.
cross country was just like, it was not even a blip on my radar.
Yeah.
So it's just different. All right. I want to ask you, I know a good question that some people brought to my attention is fighters have sweet spots, a sweet spot that you're looking for in the fight, a sweet spot that you're working the whole fight. You're saying, all right, I'm gonna throw the right hook to the body. I'm just waiting for him to open up. There it is. Bam, shoot it. Where's your sweet spot?
So like I said, this guy's a really well-rounded opponent, I think. So we have to kind of be prepared to have sweet spots in every area, I guess. That's kind of a nice little vague answer I can give.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it changes depending on the fight camp. Like if people watch my other fights, some I wanted to get to the ground pretty fast. Others, I wanted to land a head kick on one of the other ones. So I just, yeah, we watch as much tape as possible. Obviously, we expect them to improve in between fights and stuff like that, but we try to pick up on patterns and exploit those patterns.
Yeah, I feel that. So I looked at your record, and you haven't had a fight in like 2 years, right?
Yeah, it's been tricky with COVID.
Yeah, and I know in Canada they are not fucking around up there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the long layoff, pandemic is the biggest causation. How do you have butterflies? How are you feeling going into this next fight? And I also know if you have like 6 weeks into the fight, it's like, oh shit, it's coming. It's almost here.
Yeah.
4 weeks comes, the butterflies intensified. Kind of walk me through that process, how you're feeling right now.
Well, to be honest, I always get pretty nervous before fights. It's a fun kind of nervous energy. If I wasn't nervous, that'd be kind of concerning.
Very.
Be like something's off, or I'm not taking this seriously, or not worried about the guy. So yeah, I always get pretty nervous, and I'm feeling it now too. So yeah, just like it always is. Just want to be able to control and like use those nerves, not be like controlled by the nerves or kind of freeze up. So
yeah, nerves. They could, like you said, depending on how you control them, you could either take them and run with them or just let them consume your soul. One of my favorite quotes that Mike Tyson said was, before the fight starts, I'm terrified that I want to get on a plane. I want to get on a train. I want to get in my car. I want to get the fuck out of here. I do not want to be here right now.
Yeah.
As I start that walk to the ring, the butterflies intensify. As I get closer to the ring, I'm nervous. I don't want to be here. Once I get into the ring, I'm a fucking god. Put in work and I'm gonna beat this shit out of whoever's in front of me. So yeah, butterflies, they could get you going, man.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, I want to wish you good luck in your upcoming fight. And if you want to get back on Talk Smack with Mac after this fight, it was a very good introduction. These shorter interviews for the Cage Warriors fight just helps build a little bit of more energy, more excitement going down. I know Cage Warriors are putting on phenomenal shows. They just had hell of a banger last month. They're going to have another banger next month. So I'm excited to see you in the cage. I will make sure to put the link in the description so everybody could check you out. But anytime I have somebody get on my show, I sit back and I be quiet and I give you the time to shine. You could let any people that are watching, let them know where to find you, let them know what you have coming next. Anything you want people to know, this your time.
Okay, so yeah, the first one, just a shout out to my brother, my coach, best friend. It's all because of him, so thank you very much, Tim. He likes to make fun of my videos, my interviews. Not the best on the mic, so that'll be fun watching this back with him. Everyone at the gym, Pathway Jiu-Jitsu, thank you guys so much for all the training and making it such a great part of my life. Cage Warriors as well. They put on the best shows. Nothing but good things to say about these guys. Thank you very much to Tim Rankins, the guy who runs it. And yeah, my opponent, thank you very much for taking the fight. Unfortunately, the last one fell through. I didn't actually get to earn the title as by default. The guy didn't make weight, so I'm excited to actually be able to win it this time. Yeah, there's been a few people talking online, which is pretty funny. I can't not agree with them. I didn't actually win it last time. I gave the belt back. I want to actually win it this time, so I'm excited to actually be able to fight. So yeah. Best of luck to them. I want to fight the best Olivier Poisson possible. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, good luck in your next fight. And like I said, after you go in there and you perform, you put on a show. If you want to get back on and talk a little bit more shit, you are more than welcome. I appreciate your time, but that sums it up for this episode of Talk Smack with Mac. Everybody make sure to tune into Cage Wars. I'll make sure I put a link in the description. You guys can get your tickets, get the pay-per-view, support these fighters that are trying to make a name for themselves and trying to become that next champ, and actually get in there and throw some fucking hands and some kicks and win that title. Ryan, I appreciate it, bro. You have a good day.
Thanks, you too. Take care.
Let's talk smack.